Hi everyone. Okay, I don't really know where to start, but I think I'm basically just making this video just to make a point that everyone should spend as much time as they possibly can with their loved ones, because you never know when they're going to be taken away from you. And I'm going to start from the beginning with this story about my mum, who has now only probably got 1 month to live, which is great. So, trying to think when. My brain is completely frazzled, I'm telling you. Last year sometime, can't remember the exact dates because I'm really bad with dates. We went to the doctors and they found out she was anemic. So okay, that's fine. We can deal with my mum being anemic and everything. It's not the end of the world. And somehow, my mind is really gone, but somehow we've gone from figuring out that she was anemic to actually she had cancer all around her stomach. So she went through an operation and they got rid of her pancreas, oh my gosh, honestly, my head. They got rid of her ovaries, part of her colon, and her appendix because they were all infected with weird stuff. They couldn't say, the ovaries had cancer on them, and the appendix had weird. They said it was scrambled eggs. I don't know, but anyway, they got rid of all that, and they were great. So we managed to get rid of most of the cancer, and but we are going to give you chemo and radiotherapy just in case there's microscopic cells that could come back. So up until March last year, she was having chemo and radiotherapy, only a low dosage. But the oncologist said we don't really know how to treat this cancer because it's so rare and hardly anyone has it. So we're going to treat it as cervical or ovarian cancer. We don't really know which one to do because we've never seen this before. So we're okay, cool, but we'll still go through with the chemo radiotherapy. And after all that, they were you know what, we've done a scan and there were, wow, it's bucketing down now. There are no signs of cancer, but there could still be a chance of microscopic cells that could grow back, but let's pray they don't. 6 months later, we have been to A&E several times because my mum had this really awful pain in her side, and she was I can't take this pain, so we need to go to A&E. And they did scans, they did blood tests, and they were no, we can't find anything, you're fine, just go home, just have paracetamols, you'll be alright. Even in the scans, my mum was I wonder if they could find any signs of cancer, if the cancer's come back. And the doctor was no signs of cancer, everything looks fine, just, keep an eye on things. And then my mum goes into A&E again, and they do a CT scan, and we find that actually the cancer has not only come back, but it's come back in 3 different places. So now they said it was a 7x7 mass between her spleen and her stomach. It could also possibly be in the stomach lining, but they can't see it. And where your hip bone is, around there, and her lower back, where her colon is. I don't know, I'm not good at all this stuff, but basically it has come back in 3 different places, and you haven't got long. But they couldn't tell her exactly because the hospital we were at weren't specialists in it, so they didn't really know. They were oh, sorry, you haven't got long, but you need to talk to your main hospital about this. So we go to the main hospital, And they said, look, obviously we weren't expecting these cells to come back this quickly in 6 months, but at the same time we're like, well, you didn't really know anyway because it's such a rare cancer. You don't really know. And they said there are trial drugs that we can give you. I can't remember the names. They were ridiculous names. And they can stop you from needing blood transfusions, because my mum was having those like every 3 or 4 weeks because she was just losing blood. We didn't know where from, but she was losing blood. And it could just make you better. Like, it could bring her energy back and everything. So we were like, great. Like, okay, it's not going to cure the cancer, but it could prolong her life and give her a better quality of life for at least 6 months, which was something. So we came out like super happy and relieved. And then the next day, I went out with my brother just to go to the shops. And my mum gets a phone call while I was out saying, I'm really sorry, but you're not compatible. So we were like, oh sugar, I'm not going to swear. Oh sugar, but we didn't say that. We were, But I was so angry, like, why tell us that she could do these trial drugs and then say, sorry, no, like, cheers, get our hopes up, And they said to my mum, do you want to have chemo? But it will be really, really intense chemo this time. Like, you will lose your hair, you will be vomiting, you won't want to leave the house kind of thing. And my mum said no. And we both agreed that that was not going to be the best option, because nobody wants to live like their last few months or whatever you've got left of going to the hospital, constantly backwards and forwards and feeling like absolute crap. So now my mum only has like 1 or 2 months left, and she's in hospital at the moment. She's been in there for about 4 days. It'll be 5 days tomorrow. And her temperature, like 1 minute, she's like 40 degrees and she's absolutely shivering, like she's frozen. And they're like having to give her cups of tea to like cool her down, which is mad. Like 40 degrees, you think you'd be hot, but no, she's freezing. And then her heart is always so fast. Her heart rate is from like 98 to about 120 sometimes, which is not normal, but 98 is normal for her, like that's her normal. And 37.7 degrees is her normal temperature, which is still not normal, but it's normal for her. And they think she's got some sort of infection. They don't know. I feel like these doctors just never really know what they're doing, to be honest. But this is what's going on right now. And there's so many people that are trying to be there for me, which is really sweet, but I'm someone that suffers with like quite severe social anxiety. So there's all these people which I understand who are trying to be really nice and trying to be there for me. Like, I do appreciate your kindness, honestly. But people coming around, like, it scares me. I'm scared of people, basically scared of people, yeah. I'll have massive panic attacks and I don't know. I just don't want that. It's even hard for me just getting up to the hospital all the time because, it's stressful for me just leaving the house. And people are like, oh, do you want to go for a drink, Annie? Like, I'll try and take your mind off it. Like, really? Do you think I want to go out for a drink when my mum is, like, dying in hospital? I think not. But, cheers. It's just, I feel like people don't really get it. Like, if your parents were dying in hospital, do you really want to go out drinking with friends? I don't think so. But yeah, I see where they're coming from. I'm not like having a go at them, but it's just so hard for me. And really, I just think everyone, as much as they possibly can, should spend as much time and appreciate the time they have with their loved ones, parents, or just anyone that they're close to, because you never know when something like this is going to hit you. And you really don't expect it. You really don't. And like, pardon me, you just think it's never going to be you. however cliche that sounds, I know, but you really don't think it's ever going to be you that like it affects, or someone in your family. You always hear about it on the TV, like, oh, 1 in 2 people like diagnosed with cancer, but you think, oh, not me, not my loved ones, you know, we'll all be fine. But so many people are getting cancer now, and when I was at hospital with my mum, like the main hospital, seeing babies who have cancer, like tumours, it's just so unfair. Like, what kind of life have they even had? Do you know what I mean? It's just not fair. It's really not fair. Any age, it's not fair. But especially those babies, like, what have they done wrong? They haven't done anything wrong. It's just not fair. But I'm going to finish the video here because I don't want to get upset and start crying, which I've done pretty well not doing, but please just make the most of every day. I know I don't because of my anxiety. Like, if I could go out every day and see friends, I would, but I can't. But those of you that can, please make the most of every day, because you just never know when shit gonna hit the fan. So, yeah. Take care, and I love you all. Well, anyone who's watching this video, probably like 7 people, but still. If this message just gets to 7 people, I'll be happy. And sorry for blabbing, but I felt like I needed to let it all out because I don't really have anyone to talk to. So I'll talk to you. Thanks for watching. Love you all.